Hello everybody, this is Muhammad Hassan back for another video. In today's video I'll be teaching you how to create your very own reverse shell backdoor using Python that I'll also teach you how to test. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is you want to install Windows as a virtual machine. Now if you go to the first link in the description under the video's resources, that will be my other YouTube video on how to install Windows as a virtual machine. Make sure you go there and install Windows as a virtual machine first, and then you can continue. So the second thing you want to do is you want to go to the second link in the description. So I will do that, and give me one moment while I get that up. Okay, so right over here, the second link in the description should be Python, and it will say for whatever operating system you have. I have Windows. It would say Mac OS if you have Mac OS, or Linux if you have Linux. So just do that accordingly. And then you want to go to the third link in the description and install Visual Studio Code. Right, so that's right here. Again, it will say for whatever operating system you have. So I have Windows, so it'll say that, but whatever you have. Okay? So the next thing that you want to do is you want to open up your Visual Studio Code. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I have it opened. Now before we continue, I just want to say a few things. The first thing being is that I will also teach you guys how to turn the Python file into an exe after we finish coding it. And second thing is this is only for educational purposes, so please do not use this for any illegal or unlawful manner, and I shall not be held responsible for that. So let's continue. So what we can do is we can X that out. We click File and then Open Folder, right? So I'm going to click Open Folder and then I'm going to continue. So I clicked Open Folder and I have this little window over here, and I'm going to navigate to my desktop. I know you guys can't see the full thing, and on my desktop I'm going to create a new folder and I'm going to call it Custom Python Reverse Shell. So we're going to open that. So right here, you see it's Custom Python Reverse Shell. And I'm just going to make sure we're in it, and then we'll click Select Folder. It should open it up into here. And then what I want to do is I want to go ahead and create the first file, and this is going to be the server file. So this is where we're receiving the connections, right? It's very simple, by the way. No dependencies needed. So the first thing we want to do is import two modules. So we're going to import system. Import system, right? And then the next module that we want to import is socket. So let's import socket, right? This is to have the connection. And the server, for now, what we're going to put it as is we're just going to leave this as blank for now. Okay, we'll get to that later. And then the ports we're going to have this on, we're going to have this run on port 4444. 4444, right? And then we'll do, so let's create some variables real quick. So we'll do s is equal to, and then socket, opening parentheses, closing parentheses. And then we'll do s dot set sock option, right, like that, exactly like that. And then socket dot sol underscore socket, comma, socket dot so underscore reuse address, and then comma space 1. So you want it to look exactly like this. Okay, and I'll give you guys a moment to do that. So now what we want to do is we want to do s.bind and then double parentheses server and then comma space port, right? We're using these two variables that we created up here, right? And then under this, we're going to do s.listen. So we're going to listen on the server and on the port. And let's put 1, right? So we're going to listen for an incoming connection. And then while true, right, print f and then opening quotation mark, but like the single quote mark. And then opening square bracket, closing square bracket, and then plus symbol in the middle. This just means it's a positive thing, like it's a good thing that what's happening. And then listening as, and then the server. I'll call it server IP actually, server IP, because it just makes it much easier for us to understand exactly what's happening, what that variable is. The server IP, and now you guys might understand because I changed it, like what it means. And then colon, and then port, right? So when we put these brackets around it, it means that we're trying to put in a variable, and the variable is here, okay? And then what we want to do is we want to, right under here, so under client is equal to s.accept, okay? And then we're gonna print, right? Print, same thing as before, the same starting, F, and then open quotation mark, closing quotation mark, and then the opening square bracket plus closing square bracket, client connected, right? Because this is a good thing, so that's why we're putting the plus in between. And then we'll put the client like that, and then 1. And then what we want to do is, oops, I forgot the closing quotation mark right there. Okay. Oops, am I missing something? Oh, yeah, and closing parentheses right around here, right? And this is supposed to be here. Okay, perfect. That's correct. Now the next thing that we want to do is right under here, we want to do client, oops, not client, opening square bracket, 0, closing square bracket, dot send, so dot send. And then we're going to do open parentheses, and then in the same single quotation marks, connected, and then dot encode, opening parentheses, closing parentheses. And then under here, we're going to do while true. And real quick, guys, before we continue any further, I can't stress this enough, that these tabs, or these like spacing over here, they really matter, okay? If you don't have this, it's not going to work. Like, this will not work. See how it says there's an error? You want to click tab and bring it like this, right? If it doesn't do it automatically, it should, though. So yeah, let's continue. So, over here, since it's going in another time, we need to have double tab, so tab, and then it should bring you here. And yeah, let's continue. So we're going to do CMD is equal to input, right? This is where we're going to be able to run all these commands. And then right there, those are the alligator brackets. And then right under there, we're going to do client, and then opening square bracket, 0, and then closing square bracket, dot send, opening parentheses, cmd dot encode. Once again with the opening and closing parentheses, nothing inside. Then under that, we're going to do if cmd dot lower, and then nothing in those opening and closing parentheses, in. And then, so now this is to exit the reverse shell, so that means like we're done with it. We're going to do, how many should we do? We'll say like, maybe quit should be one of them, I believe. Yeah, quit. I know exit is a common one used, exit. And then Q or X. So should also work. I think that's it, right? Yeah, that should be it. And then colon, and under there we're just going to do break, which is going to break the connection, right? And then result is equal to client opening, closing square bracket, and 0 in the middle, dot receive, and then 1024. Dot decode, right? Dot decode, opening, closing. I believe there should be nothing in it. I think so. Yeah, there should be nothing in it. Sorry. And then we're gonna do print. We're gonna print the result, right? So we're gonna print the result. Okay, that's extra. Okay. Then within here, now just over here, right? Now we're out of that one. We're on the same level as this while true over here. We're not in it. We're in the same level as it. We're going to do client, opening bracket, 0, closing bracket, and then dot close, opening parentheses, and closing parentheses, nothing inside. And then we're going to do CMD is equal to input, and then wait for new client, y/n, and then basically it's saying do you want to wait for a new client or not, and then we're gonna do or y, right, and then under here we're gonna do if command dot lower, right, if command dot lower, if command dot lower, opening parentheses, closing parentheses, in, right, so if it's and then opening square bracket, closing square bracket, n or no, then it's gonna break the code, right, so stop it. If not, it's gonna keep waiting for connections, and then we're gonna do s.close, opening, closing parentheses. So the next thing we want to do is we want to create a new file called rat.py, right? And then under here, it's not as long as code, but it's more code to do. So we're gonna import three things now. We're gonna import system. We're going to import socket, and I believe also subprocess. Import subprocess. Okay. So again, we're gonna have the server IP. Now, actually, since we're over here, let's get started. So if it's on the same network, you can put 127.168. Not 168. 0.0.0.1, right? But that's not if it's on the same network. If it's on the same computer, you want to do that. But obviously, it's not going to be. So what you want to do is you want to open up CMD, right? Command prompt, and you want to do ipconfig, right? And if we go all the way down here where it says wireless LAN adapter Wi-Fi, we want to copy this one where it says IPv4. This is IPv6, or upgrading to IPv6, because there's not enough, or almost not enough, different unique IP addresses left. So don't worry about that though. We're only going to be using the IPv4. So yeah, you want to paste that into there and paste it into here. We're going to again do the port is equal to, and then 4444, right? That's what we said to. Yeah. Right? And then under here we're going to do s is equal to, wait, I don't need to write this. We'll just copy from here, paste it, and then s.connect, and then server IP port, right? Oops. Port needs to be capitalized because that's how we made the variable. And then under here we're going to do message is equal to s.receive 1024.decode. Now we're going to decode it. And then we're going to print the message. So we're going to print, and then that, opening square bracket, closing square bracket in the middle. Instead of doing a plus, we're going to do the star, shift 8, because this is just info, right? It's just info, no success. And then server, and then comma msg, right? Message, and it's going to show the message. And then while true, we want to do cmd is equal to s.receive and 1024 and decode. Now once again, make sure you have the tabs wherever I have tabs, because that will cause the code not to work if you don't have it. So then we're going to do print f, and then that, and now we're going to have plus once again, because this is a success statement, and we're going to say received command, and then cmd, except we're not going to do it like this. We're going to delete that and do that. Perfect. Okay. And then under here we're going to do if cmd.lower is q, we did quit, right? We did quit. We did exit, right? And x, correct? So exit and x. So if it's one of those, then it's going to break the connection. And then we'll do try results is equal to, so process dot, not call, but check output, and then opening parentheses and closing parentheses, and then we'll do this is a bit long, but yeah. So we need to do, I believe it's I think it's CMD, comma STGERR is equal to sub process dot std out, and then comma shell is equal to true. Now, don't worry, guys. If something I'm saying is not, it is the incorrect thing, I will put it on the screen on what you have to do to fix it. But if you haven't seen anything on the screen yet, then that means everything I'm saying is correct. So yeah, don't worry about anything. So then we're gonna do except, and then exception right there as e, and then result is equal to a string, which is str e dot encode. Okay. And then right over here we're gonna do if length of the results is equal to 0, then results is equal to, and then plus, right, because of success, executed successfully, right there, and then dot encode, and then we're gonna send the result. So s dot send result, and then all the way back over here, we're gonna do s dot close. So there we go. We're done with all the code. So we're gonna go ahead and test this real quick. Just give me one moment. I'm going to minimize the size so that you guys can see everything in the picture. So yeah, this should be good. Alright, so this is the finished code for the rat.py if you want to look over it real quick. And this is the finished code for the server.py if you want to look at that real quick. Okay, so let's get to testing. So how do we test this? So you want to open up the terminal in Visual Studio Code. That's Control tilde. Should automatically open up to the folder, custom Python reverse shell. And then what we want to do is we want to run. We're going to do Python. Actually, it's actually best if we open a command prompt. So actually close this up by pressing Control tilde once again. Then we're going to open up CMD, and we're going to open up 2 of them actually. So 1, 2. Alright, so I have 2. And what we want to do is we will cd into the desktop, cd into custom Python reverse shell, right? And I'll do the same with this one, cd desktop, cd custom Python reverse shell. And if you want to know how it's auto-completing when I type it, that's because you just click tab when you think you wrote enough for it to identify it. And there we go. So now we have 2. And for this one, we'll do Python server.py, right? This is the server. You need to do that one first. And it says listening as, so it's listening. And then the second one, we're going to use as Python. We're going to do Python rat.py. It's not actually a rat. It's a reverse shell. But yeah, rat.py server connected. And now we see client connected. Gives me the IP of the person. It's the same one, so it's the same computer. And we will test this on a virtual machine. Real quick, let's say calc to open the calculator. And the calculator did indeed open successfully. Just opened up on another window. But yeah, we could execute it again. I'll execute that again, but I'm going to show you guys the other window. Right, so right here, calc. Oh, wait, I guess it opened on this window, but yeah, so I'll do calc one more time just to show you, and it opens. See, so you can run remote commands. Now let's test this. So let's see if our exit command works. Exit, and then no. There we go. It's done. So now what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to do this on our virtual machine. Now before we do that, let's convert this rat.py into an exe, because like who's going to trust the Python file and also be able to see what's happening in the code. So we're going to do Control tilde, and you want to do pip install py installer, like that, right? And it's already installed, so it's saying requirement already satisfied, but it shouldn't take too long for you to install it, and it should actually be done for you guys by now. But now what we want to do is we want to do py installer, and then we're going to do rat.py -- no console and one file. Okay, that's it. Click enter, and we'll let it run. It shouldn't take too long, actually, only a few seconds. But yeah, so now it's done. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into our dist, and it says rat.exe, and we'll change it to videogame.exe, right? And then what we're gonna do is we're going to reveal in File Explorer, and then we have it right here. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up our virtual machine. So you want to open up your VMware that you installed in the video I referred to earlier. So have it right here, and I'm gonna open up the Windows 10. So I give it one moment. I suspended it. I didn't fully shut it down, so it shouldn't take too long. Give it one moment. There we go. So I just copied and pasted the exe to the Windows virtual machine, and we see we have it right here, videogame.exe. Now open another command prompt outside of the virtual machine, and put it on the other side if you want, or you can test this without the virtual machine if you have another computer, Windows computer. And what we're gonna do is we will run the server, so python server.py, and the server's listening. So now if we double click this, give it one moment, client connected, right? And this is another computer, so we're gonna do calc, open the calculator if we want. Boom, it opened the calculator. We could easily rickroll them just like this. And how we can rickroll them is by over here. We could say start, and this is any CMD command we can run here. So we can say start, and then I'll paste the rickroll URL. You can get that from online. Click enter. Give it one moment. Now, normally the person would already have this as default, so let's pretend that didn't happen. But have an app as default for the browser, and now it's loading. It's a bit slow. Normally wouldn't be that slow. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and before we leave today, I just wanted to say that all the finished up code and the source code is in the link in the description under finished code in my GitHub. So make sure to go check that out if it's not working for you, if you feel like you made an error. So that's there if you need it. And yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments or concerns, please make sure to ask in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.